Welcome back to the NBA show, whatever you want to call it. Don't really have a name for it still, but we're back. It's been 2 weeks since we got an episode. I couldn't record last week. But we've got about just under 2 weeks until opening day for NBA season. Obviously, we've had some preseason stuff. So we're not going to talk too much about preseason because myself, I haven't watched a ton just because it is preseason. I should be watching more just because it's basketball for the first time in 4 months for us. But um nonetheless, we've got a couple extensions, a team that's done some things since the last time we were here, and then we've also got our top 10 small forwards, obviously the main attraction of this video. Um, Next week's episode, you guys are probably going to get top 10 power forwards and centers in the same episode because the episode after that will be right after opening day. And I don't want to be still doing this. I want to have that episode to completely talk about, opening day and things like that. So we're probably going to knock those two out next episode. But before we get there, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. NBA coming up. I know we've done a lot of 2K stuff over the past. And if that's not your favorite thing of mine, it's not going to be happening as much. We're going to get back into the normal NBA talk videos very, very soon. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment any questions, suggestions, anything. I want to start a question segment for people that have questions about literally anything, any NBA topic, any question you want, I will answer it. As long as they're not duplicate questions and we didn't address them already or recently in a video. But so let's get into it. LeBron James though had the NBA world really scared. Not gonna talk much about this because it's not much to talk about, but announcing the second decision, I mean, at first glimpse, at first, say we were like, uh-oh, a decision. Well, the season's about to start. He's not currently a free agent or on the trade market. Does that mean he's announcing his retirement? After the initial 5 minutes of like, oh God, what is this going to be? It's like, okay, this is probably going to be, like a clever advertisement. Like I think Snoop Dogg did one a couple not too long ago with something like that. I don't remember exactly. It might not even been Snoop Dogg, but somebody did something like that. But Hennessy ad, but thank goodness, because I don't think any of us are ready for LeBron to go. Granted, it is year 23. It would have been pretty cool to go out on year 23, but I think he'll stay for 25 years. I think he'll play this season. That means another 3 years. That seems like a lot though. So I don't know, but we'll see. So there's that, and then some I'm gonna again talk about for 3 seconds. Nikola Jovic got extended to a 4-year, $62 million contract. Um, I have not been super in tune with Miami basketball, especially since Jimmy left last year. But Jovic played 46 games and he was 11 for 37% from the field, but like that's about on average, what is that, about 17-ish million? That's kind of a lot. Now, granted, it's not in the grand scheme of the NBA today, but like, I don't know. Is he even gonna start? I don't know. It's not like he got paid 30 mil a year, like, but still. Um, and the other team that we'll talk about, the Warriors, they finally did something, man. Um, Not first, but we're gonna say it first. They got Jonathan Kaminga because the qualifying offer deadline was, I believe, the 1st of October. I believe the day before they agreed to 2 year, is it 66 million or no 40? Sorry, 46 million. With I believe a team option, um, which means about around 23 million annually. Now, I have been relatively on the Jonathan Kaminga side for most of this, but when they said I believe they put out an offer for him, like a real like a 3 or 4 year deal. And he didn't take it. I believe it was somewhere around here. It might have been somewhere from like 18 to 21 million. I understand you want what you want. You either want your money or you want to play more, but you can't say no to everything, right? Like you've got to, and this isn't that bad. Like honestly, I think this is around where Jonathan Kaminga should be at, just because even though I believe he should be getting paid around this, like he could get this contract, but like 4 years, um, he's not. We're not 100% what his role is, and that's because the Warriors have limited him. That's where I go on the Warriors. That's where I'm on Jonathan Kaminga's side. I'm like, the Warriors have limited him, haven't given him a chance, and granted, because they're in the Steph Curry era, right? All they do is shoot 3 pointer. That's like everything they do is shoot threes. Whatever, that's fine. But like, I don't know. They and I've talked about this before. They didn't want to pay him like a quote unquote star or young star player, which is fine. But you cannot expect a star level return if you don't think if you can't pay him a star level amount. That's always the way I look at it with like some of these restricted free agents, and this happened a lot, right? This happened with the Cam Thomas stuff, who did end up getting a qualifying offer. Quentin Grimes, I think, also took qualifying. I can't remember. I think he did around the same time as Kaminga. Maybe I'm mistaken, but like, and then Giddy got a contract, but like Giddy was also like those were the four big restricted free agents that like who knows, because Giddy, it's like okay, he got traded from the NBA champions, the season before because he didn't fit and they couldn't keep him on the floor. But he's a good basketball player, but he can't stay on the floor. So he has his, issues and deficiencies. Cam Thomas, bucket getter. Other than that, has his deficiency, like Quentin Grimes had about half of a season of like, whoa, 18, 20 points a game. Is that's not enough time to go on. And then Jonathan Kaminga, obviously, who has been limited and everything like that. But so yeah, I mean, I think the contract is around what he wanted. I think the problem was that he didn't get the length or the I don't know, like additives for it. Like he didn't want a team option, I believe. He didn't want, just a 1-2 year deal. He wanted to have either some financial security or some guarantee that he's going to play. And I honestly don't expect anything else to change. I assume he would be traded around the deadline when, or I think it's either December 15th or January 15th when all that stuff opens up. I don't know. I feel like they're going to do him dirty this season. But then again, if they do him dirty, then he's not going to have the numbers, the stats, everything to be like, oh yeah, some other team should trade for him because we see a glimpse. If they limit his minutes, limit his play, they're not going to maybe get what if they let him start or play till 30 minutes a game. Now, I don't know. He probably wouldn't start now that Jimmy's there, but like before Jimmy was there was no reason why I didn't think he should be starting. Um, The Warriors, they also signed De'Anthony Melton, Gary Payton, and Al Horford has all become official. I don't know if this website I'm using has it all has it all up to date. It does not, but like I mean, those guys are I mean, Gary Payton, I believe, is 32. Al Horford is either 38, 39. Steph Curry's like 37. Jimmy Butler's like 36. Draymond's 35. D'Anthony Melton, I think, is only like 29. But like, dude, this team, I'm pretty sure I saw something that said the Warriors took over as the oldest 10-man rotation. Originally it was the Clippers, but like I think by far it is the Warriors now, because if you think just about the starting lineup, Steph and Curry, or hypothetical starting lineup, Curry, 35 plus, Pods, who's like 24 or something, um, Jimmy, 35 plus, Draymond, 35 plus, Al Horford, 35 plus. And I'm not good at math, but 435 overall, overall, 435-year-old players and one 25-year or 24-year-old mixed in there. numbers aren't going to look great. But there's that. So Warriors, they finally do something, I guess. I mean, I don't know how I would feel about them. Um, Hoops All In, the other channel, we are coming back. We are going to do an episode later today that will be out tonight, probably, or tomorrow, um, where we talk about all 30 teams. So if you really want um, if you really want what I think about them, go to that channel and go watch it later tonight or tomorrow. But let's get right into it. I mean, top 10 small forwards. Um, I mean, there's a lot of good forwards. You guys need to remember that there's a bunch of good small forwards in the league. There's also players that you think are a small forward. Maybe they were a shooting guard in my shooting guard list 2 weeks ago. Or maybe they're a power forward that you will see in next week's video, right? Like you've got to understand that they're the versatility in the league, the position doesn't matter too much. If you're a top 10 in any position, you're top 10. Like, you know what I mean? So um I will say in the past few years, the small forward position hasn't been too crazy because a lot of guys like LeBron, like Kawhi have moved over to the power forward position. A lot of those guys are back in the small forwards. At least that's how I did it, how I would assume. Um So yeah. But first, let me get to some honorable mentions and some players that were not involved. So players that were not involved mainly because of um, injury issues, and I just don't really feel like I saw enough of them last year. Was Brandon Ingram and Brandon Miller, both the Brandons. Um, I did a predicting All Star thing, and I had Brandon Miller as a maybe an as an All Star, not snub, but like reserve, one of the extra players. Just to throw something out there. So I think Brandon Miller next year should be on this list. Two other hard cuts for me was Asar Thompson and Trey Murphy. I almost threw Trey Murphy in here, but it's hard. And Asar Thompson should 100% be on this. Should 100% be on this list next year or the year after. But in the number 10 slot, we have got the man in New York, and I know a lot of those three players kind of all do in different positions. Mikal Bridges was on the shooting guard. OG will be on the power forwards, which means I put Josh Hart as a top 10 small forward. I know. Say what you want, bro. Say what you want. I put him over Trey Murphy. Um, I put him over who else did I put him over an MPJ? I put him over some guys like that. I put him over Cooper Flag. I'm not including Cooper Flag. He's a rookie. Um, he hasn't played a second of NBA basketball, or he played NBA preseason. Didn't look too bad, but hasn't played a second of real NBA basketball. So I put Josh Hart. This 10th spot doesn't mean a ton. But Josh Hart, top 10, I put him there. He averaged last year 14, 9, and 6 on 52% from the field, 33% from three. Josh Hart, I mean, he's really he might be thinking about it for 2 seconds. Josh Hart's probably the best role player in the NBA. Other people that come to mind are Derek White, maybe an Aaron Gordon, something like that. Majority of the NBA, there's a lot of role players in the league. Josh Hart is definitely top 3, no lower than top 5, but top 3 for sure. He does so many things, and I mean, honestly, what is Basketball Reference? Basketball Reference has him as a shooting guard, so maybe I got it backwards. Maybe he should have been on the shooting guard list, and Mikal should have been on the small forward list. Doesn't matter. Played the most minutes per game last year. Has some of the best versatility. He could, again, 6 assists as a guy who has Jalen Brunson on his team, Cat on his team, even Mikal, who, a lot of players who are getting the ball before him. He does a lot for his team, man. And again, averaging 9.6 rebounds, and they have him listed as 6'4". And he's playing small ball 4 a lot. He's guarding guys in the paint. He's guarding guys on the perimeter. Like, Granted, the last 2 years, his three-point shooting, splits haven't been perfect. He's had a lot of up and down for that in his career, but I mean, Josh Hart is like the perfect guy where legit think like there's a advanced stat called, I believe, portability. I believe Josh Hart, you could throw him on any team and he will do what he does and it will make an impact. All 30 NBA teams. Granted, some of it will be looked over if he goes to a bad team because what's he going to do to Brooklyn, right? Like, what's he going to do to Utah? What's he going to do to Charlotte? Like, but like you throw him, he would fit on OKC perfectly. He would fit on a Minnesota. He would fit on a Cleveland. He would fit almost like I really don't think there's a place that Josh Hart would not fit. So that is the reason that I have him 10th. Ninth for small forwards, we have got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, I honestly almost left off this list completely because DeRozan does, you know how I just said Josh Hart would fit damn near everywhere? That legit might be the opposite for DeMar DeRozan. Like obviously DeRozan's gonna get buckets. He averaged 22 points per game. What else? 4 assists, 4 rebounds. But like, let's look at these 3-point numbers. Okay, 30, just under 33% the past few years. But like, you go back to San Antonio, 26%. There's 1 year in San Antonio is 15%. Like, he's just not a 3-point shooter. He never will be, never has been. He's been an ISO, give me the ball, operate in the mid range kind of guy. And he went to a place in Sacramento where he can do that. Now, those buckets don't mean much because Sacramento's not great, and they're kind of building a better-ish version of the Chicago Bulls right now with Zach LaVine being over there. DeRozan's over there. Like, it's just a lot of mediocrity that he's been on recently. But DeRozan is still like ISO score. He's still super good. He's still going to give you buckets. He's still going to do things like that. But again, I almost left him out for some other players that were like, they're going to fit a team better. So that's the reason that, and some people might think that's low, but when you realize who else I have as small forward, I really don't think there's a chance. He could maybe have crept one spot higher, maybe. But I was super close to leaving him off the list completely, but I did not. So that is my number 9. Number 8, we have Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels, 12 points per game, 6 rebounds, 33% from 3. He goes through time shooting where it's great. Him shooting is great. Even his offense in general looks better. I think he's really I think this season we're going to see a big leap from him. And I wouldn't be surprised on if, depending on how, things in Minnesota goes, like with the, God forbid injuries, God forbid, if they can't figure out the Mike Conley stuff and Mike Conley, whatever. I really think Jaden McDaniels could have a sneaky, like, most improved player type of thing, depending on how his scoring goes. Like, obviously, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. At his 6'9" frame, again, his offense has gotten better. He played 82 games last year. He's played over 70 games. 4 of his 5 years in his career, in his rookie year, he played only 63 games. So he's been relatively Iron Man for his career. He's done a thing. They say he was a power forward but Julius Randle was on the team last year. But I mean, he fits pretty much everywhere. Basketball Reference has his nicknames as Seatbelt. That's kind of fire. Big Mac and Slim. How you got him as Big Mac but also Slim? Am I missing maybe McDaniel? Maybe I don't know. They have his projection stats next year to be 14 and 6. So he jumps like 2 points per game. I mean, he averaged 1.3 steals and about a block per game. Jaden McDaniels is a player I feel pretty comfortable putting on a lot of different guys. And I think you put him next to a guy like Anthony Edwards, who likes to take on that challenge a lot. You put him next to a former 4-time defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert. Even like last year when they had Nikhil, they have Dante. Like that, it's a good defensive team, and Jane McDaniels brings a lot of that together. Um, Number 7, we've got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler obviously played half the year for Golden State. Numbers wise, between Golden State and Miami just for last year, I mean, he shot it. He shot it worse in Golden State than he did in Miami, but Miami, he wasn't really taking on a heavy load, which is the reason, like obviously all that stuff happened. He only actually ended up playing 55 games last year, and as a total, he averaged 17, 5, and 5 with about a steal and a half per game. I think putting a guy like Jimmy Butler next to Draymond Green works really well. Um, Again, I sort of talked about Golden State. I will say I'm not. I wish Jimmy Butler got here like I don't know 3 years ago because like 17 points, like he's gonna explode for some 20, some 30 points every once in a while. But Steph really needs that. Like Steph really needs Jimmy to not be so laid back and like, all right, I'll do what I need to do, but you go crazy. Like that's not what the Warriors need right now. And I wish Jimmy was, again, I wish this was a few years ago that this happened, but it fits really well. What are they? I wonder what they have his projected projection as. They've got him at 26, 5.5, a steal and a half. So they do have his points going up a little bit. Which I mean, I don't know. He is 30. I was just talking about him. He just turned 36 in September. Um, just gotta stay healthy, man. Just gotta stay healthy. Um, Warriors season got cut, in the playoffs because obviously Curry went down, but I thought they were gonna lose anyways, if I'm being honest. So Jimmy Butler, my number 7. Is it the last year he's on this list? Probably not. I would assume next year might be the last year he's on this list. Um, Him and DeRozan, not too much more time on this list. Here's another guy coming up at number 6 that I really had a difficult time doing, and I probably should have put him on the hurt list and just not included him. But Kawhi Leonard only played 37 games, but like Kawhi Leonard is better than I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 of these other people that I have above him if he was healthy, but the availability, the issues, like I mean, I'm not even talking about the whole investigation that's happening right now with him, but like the availability hasn't been there to what the Clippers have needed. Like when they got Paul George and Kawhi that offseason, what was it? That was the 2019 offseason, bro. You can't tell me they only would have made one conference finals, dude. And if we're being honest, I'm pretty sure that was the year that Kawhi got hurt in the hurt and Paul George brought them there. Um, I don't know, man. Kawhi is such a good player. He's one of the best small forwards of all time, bro. Like even all right, his stats last year were 21, 6 and 3, a steal and a half per game. Like but when you can't play, what does everybody say? Availability is the best ability, and Kawhi just can't bring that availability too much. So maybe I shouldn't have included him in general, because then like a Trey Murphy would have snuck onto this list. But for me, but I don't know, man. Kawhi could play, bro. I have really high hopes and good wishes for this Clippers team, man. But Kawhi's going to play 23 games, 35 games, 40 games, and not be there for the playoffs. It's going to ruin all of that. And he has gotten, I mean, like, all right, so he played 37 games this past year. The year before that, 68. He was an all-star, all-NBA player. But the year before, 52. 2022, he didn't even play at all. Then 52, then 57, 60. Now that 60 is back in Toronto. But like, right, those numbers, okay, 57 games. I mean, this year was the least amount of games he played for the Clippers, except for that one year he didn't play at all. But it's the playoffs. When the playoffs come around, he's not there. He's there for a game or two. He gives a really good performance. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I tore my ACL. Or okay, yeah, I pulled whatever. Like It just sucks, man. It sucks. I wish he was healthy more because that Clippers team would be really like I would have them going even further than I do. Um, Number five, Franz Wagner, 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 60 games. Obviously, he got hurt, missed a little while last year. 29.5% from three. Like, it's rough, man. You would hope he gets back to like his freshman or sophomore year where 36% from three on 4 attempts. But I mean, he took a career high. He made him career high in threes, but I don't know. That the offense, like Franz Wagner is really good um at attacking the basket and finishing. But dude, there are so like Paolo's good. Like their perimeter shooting, it kind of forces Franz to be more of a shooter, and that's why the numbers aren't good because he has to take someone. It's like, okay, I'd rather just do this. So I mean, he's taking 6 a game. He's just not making at the clip that some people would want. Um, and hopefully with Desmond Bain there, that'll space the floor out for him some more. Maybe he'll get some more open looks. He'll get some more like confidence in shooting it. But Franz Wagner would have been an all-star this year if he didn't end up getting hurt. I mean, he jumped 5 points per game from last year. Um, he's just a good player. I mean, he shot 53% from his 2 pointers. Like having two big wings is such a good thing to have in the NBA. Like if you look right 2 years ago, the Celtics won the whole thing with two big wings. Paul George, Kawhi, two big wings. And again, we were just talking about them how they didn't have any, they don't have any rings or much success at all in that time. But like two big skilled wings is like a crazy. It's a good thing to have because there are a lot of defenders like Jaden McDaniels, but he's got to worry about maybe Desmond or maybe Jaden McDaniels, if they're playing the Timberwolves, has to guard Franz Wagner. But wait, you still got Paolo Banchero who can take the ball as his 6'10", 230-pound frame, bully you or get in the ISO and do everything. It's just the offense. It's hard and to operate and have two guys like that. And these guys are both doing it. Between talking about Franz and Paolo and Franz, obviously, who we're talking about here, 24 points per game, and I assume it when the floor opens up more. Hopefully, maybe Jalen Suggs will have a good year shooting. Anthony Black maybe can show a little bit. Maybe even Paolo expands, to take some more or shoot better. Like he very well could average more than 24 points per game. Now it's going to be hard because again, they just added basically another 20-point per game score, but I think it's just going to give them more opportunity and make it easier on Franz Wagner. Next, at number 4, we have got Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is a guy that was, 1 or 2 in these lists the past couple of years because, again, KD, LeBron, Kawhi, all were in the power forward spot. The power forward was super stacked. And the power forward is still stacked, but, like, Jaylen Brown isn't that my 4th best small forward. I mean, obviously he was Finals MVP the year before and had a good year, but this year – he shot, where's the 3-point percentage? He shot 32% from three, almost pretty similar to how Franz was shooting. Jaylen Brown, but he's a good defender. He played 63 games, so he actually didn't qualify for awards, but he's been an all-star the last 3 years. He's as good of a number 2 as you can have in the current NBA. Again, 22, 6, and 4. We're going to see how he'll do this year with, at least Tatum being out for a majority, if not all of it. As a Celtic fan, I will say he can do it, right? Like, obviously, Tatum misses games sometimes and whatever. But can he do it over maybe a whole season or maybe the first 55 games of a season? I don't know. 2 different skill sets. I mean, they're similar, obviously, but like, Jaylen Brown's really going to have a chance to prove himself this season, and I'm excited for it. Excuse me. Next, at number 3, we have got J-Dub. J-Dub, 21.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 36% from 3, 48% from the field. I mean, all defensively, about .7 blocks, a steal and a half. All-star, all NBA, and all defensive in the same year. He's a third-year player, and he just did that. He had a 40-point game in the finals. He is, again, you want to talk about as good of a number 2 as you can get. I mean, J-Dub is there too. J-Dub is that guy, bro. And the fact, again, that he was playing center for them last year. Sometimes when Chet and Hartenstein were both gone, the dude is 6'6". I don't even know if he's 6'6". Like Basketball Reference has him as 6'6", but like J Dub is nice, bro. I mean, I think, I mean, the last year he shot almost 43% from three, but he's taken about 1.5 threes more than he was last year. Um, I kind of want to see J Dub just take the ball and score a little bit more, but other than that, I mean, it's hard to. You got a guy who averages 33 points per game on your team and the MVP, Finals MVP of the league, but the projection they've got him for Basketball Reference is around 23, 5.5, 5.5, steal and a half per game. Seems good to me, bro. Like, I mean, that team just defensively is so great, and J Dub is. Some people say I think Lou Dort was all defensive first team. I would gamble and say J Dub's the all best defender in general on that team, bro. You talk about perimeter on the defense, perimeter, the interior, like it is just it's crazy what J Dub does at his frame when they need him to. But number 2, we've got Kevin Durant. 26.6 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, the dude shot 53% from the field and 43% from three. Granted, the Suns did not make the playoffs, but he was an all-star. Actually, didn't even make All NBA either. But Kevin Durant, I mean, I've said it, I don't know how many times, doing a 2K series on my channel right now, the greatest scorer ever. Some people are like, LeBron's got the most. You tell somebody to get a bucket, there's nobody I'm picking over Kevin Durant. Greatest scorer ever. Not much to say. I'm so excited for him in Houston this year, dude. I think it is perfect. You put him around all that defense, all that playmaking, even though obviously Fred is gone, but like between Sengun, between a men, like defensively, you still got Jabari, you got Tari Eason, you got Steven Adams and Clint Capella over. I mean, dude, this might be my favorite KD spot. Like this might be my favorite KD spot. And you guys know I'm a big Rockets fan as well. I've been, following the Rockets for a while. I'm a big believer in all those Rockets players over there. I think it is just it's perfect. Perfect. So I'm super excited for Kevin Durant's season. And at number 1, the man is 40 years old. He's still here, going into year 23, averaged 24, 8 and 8. LeBron James, aka King James, aka LBJ, aka the Chosen One, Bron, the Little Emperor, the Akron Hammer, L Train, Benjamin Buckets, and Captain L'America. I mean, this dude was drafted. He was drafted before I was born. He was drafted 2 years before I was born. Like, isn't it's just crazy? He's still doing this. I mean, 70 games he played last year. I mean, he was All NBA second team, 6th in MVP, like 7th in clutch player of the year. I mean, he shot 37% from three. It's just had such a great season, dude. Like, I mean, granted, sure, the scoring, I think it's the first time he's averaged less than 25 points per game since his rookie year. He'll be fine, you know what I mean? Um, I'm making excited for a whole season with him and Luca together. They've got things to figure out over there still. Whether between like who's going to be the fifth starter between obviously it's Luca Reeves, him and Aiden, but who's that fifth starter? I would probably go someone super defensive oriented like a Jared Vanderbilt, at least to start the year. Luca, how's the defense going to be? Obviously, between Luca, LeBron, Aiton, we'll see. Even Reeves, excuse me. Um, but yeah, I mean they've got things to figure out. But LeBron is still at the top. Um, Again, granted, it's a little scuffed because some players play different positions, like again between threes and fours mainly. But at the end of the day, being in the list at all is just crazy. But that's gonna do it. That's my top 10 small forwards. Let me know what you guys think. Um, Relatively shorter episode, but we've got. I mean, next week again, we're probably gonna get the top 10 power forwards and centers known, and then the week after that, man, we're gonna be talking about some real NBA regular season basketball. Going into my second year of doing this YouTube stuff. Now, granted, I started around the All Star break last year, so I didn't get a full year, but like it's the first time we're getting a full year together. And it's the second NBA season I've done this, so I'm hyped, and we're gonna, keep putting stuff out. You got another episode of this next Wednesday. So yeah, thank you for watching. Again, on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe, please. Share with a friend, like, comment, any questions, anything. And that'll do it for me. Thank you for watching.